Hello students. Today in this class we will be learning about the graphite. In the last class, in the school I have taught you about the diamond. But now we will be learning about the graphite, which is yet another crystalline form of the carbon. If you remember, I had told you that there are two forms of the carbon. That is, one type is the crystalline, and the other type is the non-crystalline. So graphite is one of the crystalline forms of the carbon. Now, better this graphite it is naturally found as a mineral plumbago, which is opaque black colored solid, and it is found in different countries. And in India it is found in Bihar, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, etc. And it is believed that graphite is formed in nature by the volcanic heat on the coal deposit, which are embedded deep in the earth. We know that the coals are found deep inside the earth. So when the coal is exposed to the volcanic heat, that is when the graphite is formed. But artificially also we can prepare the graphite. And how do we get that? So what we have to do is we have to take the powdered coke, and this powdered coke has to be converted into the silicon carbide, that is SiC, silicon carbide. And on thermal decomposition, this silicon carbide will dissociate into carbon and silicon, and this carbon will be in the form of graphite. And what is the procedure for this? First, what we have to do is we have to take a mixture of coke, which has the carbon atoms, and then we have to take the sand, and we know that the formula for sand is silicon oxide, which is SiO2. Okay, and then ferric oxide, which will act as a catalyst. And then we have to expose this at the very high temperature, which is 3000 degrees Celsius. And now what will happen? This sand and this coke, they will react together, and then they will give you silicon carbide. And this silicon carbide, it in the presence of ferric oxide, it will get decomposed into silicon and carbon. And now this silicon, this will get evaporated, and the carbon which is left behind is in the form of graphite. That is how the graphite is formed artificially. Now the structure of graphite. Now students, if you remember, I had told you that when we were learning the diamond, that we know that carbon atom has four electrons in its outermost shell. So it has to either get 4 electrons, or it has to donate those 4 electrons to become stable. So in the diamond, what we had learnt is that the outermost 4 electrons, they are combined with the other 4 electrons of other atom of the carbon, and that is why the structure the diamond is the hardest naturally occurring substance. But in case of graphite, it is not like that. In this, the 4 valence electrons, they are combined with the 3 other electrons of the other carbon atoms. But if you see, in the diamond we have read that 4 are combined with the other 4, but in this case the 4 are combined with the 3. That means 1 remains free. Now, and this free electron is the reason behind why this graphite is the very good conductor of electricity, and that is how it conducts electricity. And this is the hexagonal this is the structure of the graphite, if you see. And in this these you see these atoms, they are held together like they have a very weak force between them, and that is the reason that is the reason that these layers, if you see these, there are layers and different layers, they can slide over each other. The properties of graphite. Students, we all know that the graphite is grayish black in color. It is opaque, right? And it shines, it has a metallic luster. And since it has a free electron, then that means it is a good conductor of heat, right? And it is a good conductor of heat, and apart from that, it is also a good conductor of electricity. In the diamond, we have read that diamond is a good conductor of heat but not electricity, because it has no free electron. But graphite has free electron, and hence it is a good conductor of electricity. And it has this property that it marks the paper black. Apart from that, the melting point is very high, that is 3700 degrees Celsius, and that is why it is used in making the in making the crucibles which are used in the furnaces, because its melting point is so much, so it can bear that temperature, the very high temperature. And it is soft and greasy to touch, as I have told you earlier. It is insoluble in the ordinary solvents and is unaffected by the acids or alkalis. So acids or alkalis will generally have no effect on the graphite, and its density is 2.39 gram per cubic centimeter. Now students, the uses of graphite. So graphite is in the form of thin roots, is used in the pencils because it can mark the paper. So students, you all of you have been using the pencils. You have been using the pencil since your early childhood, and we know that whenever we use the pencil on the paper, it has this property that it can mark the paper black, and hence it is used in the pencils. It is also used in the nuclear reactors because it has the property of absorbing the radiations, the excess neutrons. And as I have told you, because of its high melting point, it is used in making the crucibles for melting the metals. And that means in those crucibles we heat the metals, and then those metals are melted. And why we are using graphite for that? Because graphite has a very high melting point, which is 3700 degrees Celsius, and it is also used as a dry lubricant. Since it is very soft, so it is used as a dry lubricant. And you have been learning this since class 6, that we get the steel as a mixture of carbon and iron. So this carbon is actually in the form of graphite. Now students, here we have the comparison, the differentiation between the graphite and the diamond. So students, we all know that diamond is the naturally hardest occurring substance, but graphite on the other hand is soft. Pure diamond is colorless and transparent, but graphite is grayish black in color. The density for diamond is 3.5 gram per cubic centimeter, whereas for the graphite it is 2.39 gram per cubic centimeter. Diamond is a bad conductor of electricity, whereas graphite is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Now this diamond, it burns in the air at 900 degrees Celsius, and it forms carbon dioxide because it has carbon in it, whereas graphite burns at 700 degrees Celsius and it forms carbon dioxide when it is burned in the air.